Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. So today we are finally reviewing the Feelin Bubbly collection from Colourpop. I've actually had this collection for a little while now and it's just taken me so long to get this review done because there were so many other things that I wanted to review first because they were newer, and I'm like, if I'm late I might as well just keep being late, you know what I mean? So I got other reviews that were a little bit newer up first and we're finally here. I feel like the first look I filmed was probably like a month ago, but it's okay, we're finally here. And I really do appreciate you guys still waiting for my review, because I know a lot of you guys comment that like you wait for my review to come out before you'll buy anything, even though I'm like months and months late. So I truly do appreciate you guys for that. But anyway, I do have the entire collection here today to review for you guys. So with that being said, if you guys are interested about my thoughts on the collection, you want to see swatches, comparisons, 3 looks, everything you need to know, we'll talk about today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright, so the Feelin Bubbly collection, I believe it's like a 2-part collection. We have the Feelin Bubbly and By the Rose, which I'm sure I'm gonna get a couple comments about that. I did get that in PR just last week, so I'll be reviewing that one soon. Surely soon enough, but I thought I would review Feelin Bubbly first because this did come out a little earlier than By the Rose, but I did get that one. That is gonna come soon. But let me break down this collection for you. It is semi-big. So we first have the Feelin Bubbly 9-pan eyeshadow palette. This is the palette in the cardboard packaging with the bigger pans, so it is $14 US. We also have 3 jelly smudge eyeshadows, which are $9 US. It's nice to see these again. But we also have 2 Super Shock highlighters, which are $10 US each, and then we have 3 Luxe lip glosses, and these are $8 US. And then to top it off the collection, they did come out with these face crystals and also these pearls, which are $8 US each. But if you would like to purchase the entire collection, it is $89 US, and I do have an affiliated code with Colourpop if you guys would like to use. I do earn a small commission if you do use my code, but at no cost to you, and my code is my name, Judy, at checkout for 10% off. Thank you again. I always just like to say thank you if you guys use my code. I really do appreciate it. But with that being said, that is the breakdown on the collection. Let's talk about the products. So of course, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette first. That's what we always talk about. So this is the self-titled palette, Feelin Bubbly. Again, it is in the bigger packaging, so the pans are a little bit bigger. Honestly, I don't like how they do this because with storing, it just like messes up the order, because the original like pans, the packaging is like slightly shorter. But anyway, in this palette we do get a good ratio of 5 mattes and 4 metallics. All the mattes are complete mattes, all the metallics are complete metallics, no pressed glitters, none of that satin sparkly mattes that we see sometimes. Everything is just a matte and a metallic, and it is beautiful. When I saw this palette on Trendmood, I already know I was gonna love it, even though I know it's such a basic palette, but I'm a basic girl, and this basic makeup, or today's makeup, is not so basic with these pearls, but I just knew I was gonna love this palette. I really love this kind of tone. Like I really like muted, warm neutrals, if you know what I mean. I will say that this is quite light, so if you have a deeper complexion, I'm not really so sure how much you would like these lighter transition shadows, because even on me, like for example the shade Bubble Up, it like kind of blended into my skin tone. It was very light even on my complexion. But with that being said, I really enjoyed this palette. I love the ratio of mattes to shimmers. I love the tones. I think it's a really great daily palette. You definitely can take this palette more to the golden side like I have on today, or you can take it more to the like taupe neutral side. I just think it's a really great daily palette. Like I really enjoyed it. I love these tones, obviously personal preference, but I just love this kind of color story. It really just speaks out to me. It's a palette that I would definitely use a lot, and I think it's a palette I would definitely recommend to a Colourpop beginner. And I will put some comparisons up here for you guys if you want to compare it to some of their other neutral palettes. But I really do enjoy this one, and I think it's a palette that I'm going to keep on my top drawer for a little bit and play around with it, because I just really enjoy this color story. Like it's just a really nice color story to me. Like it's very appealing, but again, it's a very basic palette. I mean, these shades have been done before, no surprise there, but I mean, you can't go wrong with this. So I really enjoyed this palette, really. Let's move on to the next product, which are the Jelly Smudge eyeshadows. It's been a while since we've gotten these. Well, from the collections I reviewed, I haven't tried a Jelly Smudge in a while. I don't even know, do I still have all of my Jelly Smudge? Because they do tend to dry out a little quick. Of course, I'm sure you could add Duraline or whatever to revive it, but these do dry out pretty quick, and all of these shades, they're all like in the gold family, obviously with the theme, but a lot of these shades I feel like it reminds me of some of their older Jelly Smudge shadows, and the Jelly Smudge shadows are nice. I think they work better as more of like a one and done eyeshadow. Just put your ring finger in there, swipe it all over your lid, and I think you're good to go. Like, I think it's good for that because it's like a liquid, creamy, moussey, not moussey, kind of moussey product, but then when it dries down like it's set, so it's really great for like long-term wearing. It would work really great as an eyeshadow base as well, so it's great for that. And I think these shades are really pretty. I think these shades a lot of people would like just for one and done, so they're pretty. I don't know how much I'll get my use out of them. And then we have the Super Shock highlighters. We have two shades here. So the lighter one is called Flute Punch, and this is the one I got to use. It's a really nice like light champagne gold. It matches the collection perfectly. Like, this is a really beautiful shade. I see myself using this one a lot more. And then the other one is called Champagne BB, which I didn't get to use just because it is a little bit darker. I would probably use this one maybe more with an eyeshadow or even to like bronze up my shoulders because it's just a darker shade. If I was to use this on my cheeks, it would just leave a cast because it is just too dark on me. But I do like how they came out with like a good variation. If they're only going to come out two, like there's a good contrast between the two. They're not exactly the same, so that is nice. I would recommend the lighter one because that's the one I got to use. Then we come into the Luxe glosses. There are three shades, so don't necessarily need all three because these two here, literally, they're pretty much the same. With the Luxe glosses, they have more of a clear base with a lot of like glitters in there, so these will have a lot of gold glitters and this would have more like coppery glitters, but once it's on the lips they all tend to look the same. So these two, even though like you can see a slight difference in the packaging, once it's on your lips they all look pretty much the same. So the lightest one is called Pop a Cork, and this is the lighter gold, and then the second one is called Fizzy With It, which is like more, a little bit darker, but you can see that they look exactly the same on the lips. And then the darker bronzy one is called Sippy Sippy, which I'm sure looks quite similar, but I guess these two would look like the same, and this one is a little different. So I mean, if you already have a lot of their Luxe glosses, I don't necessarily think you need more because again, they all look the same once it's on the lips. Like, yes, it's pretty to look at in the packaging, but again, once it goes on the lips, they all tend to look kind of the same. And then lastly in the collection, maybe one of my favorite items in the collection are actually the face crystals. So they came out one with pearls and then one with silver crystals, which I did use within my look, so you guys will see them in action. And I actually have two of the pearl stickers because I actually bought one myself because I mean, I'm sure you guys would have guessed I would have purchased it because with my Colourpop here, I don't know exactly which collections they send me, and I tend to wait it out before purchasing any other collections myself just because I don't want to get doubles. So I wasn't sure if I was getting this collection or not, but I was making an order on Colourpop, so I wanted to get the pearls because it's pearls. You guys know how much I love pearls. And then when I got this collection, I did get a double of the pearls, which I'm not mad about. I'm so happy. And I think these are really nice. Like, I really like these. I like the pearl ones more obviously than the crystals, but I like how you get the variation of sizes. Maybe you could purchase these off like AliExpress or Amazon for a cheaper price and get more, but it's very nice. And I like how the stickers, so you don't have to use glue. But as you can see here, like I used the crystal ones in the second look, and I did keep them just so I could reuse them, and then next time I could just stick it on with glue. But I really like these and I would really recommend them. I mean, I love this eye look that I did today. Like, it would have to be one of my favorites ever because it's just decked out in pearls, so of course you know I love it. So that is pretty much my review on the entire collection. If you wanted to get my top picks out of this collection, I would say first place would be the pearl stickers. You could call me biased, but I love these. I don't think these would be for everyone. I don't know how much you would use them. Obviously my case is different because I do a lot of looks for YouTube, for Instagram. I don't know how much you're gonna wear this in everyday life, but just popping like the small size one in the inner corner is really cute, or like underneath here in the center would be really cute, and I feel like it's not so overpowering, but it adds a little twinkle to your eye, so I would definitely recommend. But obviously you could purchase these for a cheaper price, like on AliExpress, on Amazon, whatnot, but I really love those, would recommend. And these pearls, like they have more of a warmer tone to it. It's not like white pearls. I don't know if you can really see so much of a difference, but like these have more of a warmer yellow tone, and then like you can see on my sweater, these have more of like a white pearl. And I would also recommend the Feelin Bubbly eyeshadow palette. I really enjoyed this. I love the tones in here. Everything worked well, had no issues, so I would recommend that as well. And then lastly, I would recommend the Super Shock highlight in Flute Punch, which is the lighter one. It's really, really pretty. So those would have to be my top 3 recommendations out of the collection. But of course, like everything is like quite dupable. The highlighter, the eyeshadow palette, the pearls you could buy from somewhere else. So it's not like you must have it, but out of the collection, those would be my top picks. So with that being said, we can now move into my 3 looks. I hope you guys will enjoy all 3. So to start off the first look, I'm going to take the shade Blank Slate, and I'm going to take this into my crease as my transition shadow. So just working with windshield wiping motions to get this blended up towards the brow bone, towards the outer corner. I take that on my lids. It really is just the base color, the color all over our lids, and that's going to create the color story for this daily glam eye look. So I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well. Just going to sweep that from the outer corner right to the inner corner. Next, going into the shade Clink Clink, I'm going to focus this at the outer corners of my eyes. It's a really nice light to medium muted brown, which is something that I just love. I love these types of browns, so I'm just gonna pack that on at the outer corners, blend that out into the crease, but we just mainly want this at the outer corners for a soft definition. So I'm also gonna take that onto my lower lash line as well. I'm using a defining brush and only pressing that at the outer third. And now going into the shade Noted, I'm gonna place that at the inner third of my eyes. This is going to be the main metallic. It's a beautiful silvery taupe, which I think complements the matte so well, and it's really, really beautiful. So I'm just diffusing this out along my crease so it's nice and diffused. Now taking the Jelly Much shadow and Keep It Crisp, I'm just gonna use this to highlight my inner corners. I want to incorporate all the Jelly Much shadows in these looks, so using it as an inner corner highlight. This shade is very, very pretty. It is very iridescent, has like a duochrome flip to it, so taking that into my inner corners as well onto the inner third on my lower lash line. Now I'm going ahead and taking my brown liquid liner to line my lash line and also create the base of my wing. I will take the shade Get a Grape from the palette, which is the darker brown, to help smudge and smoke my wing out. I do mix it with a little bit of black eyeshadow just because this brown wasn't like deep enough to completely smoke it out. Then taking the e.l.f. Cosmetics No Budge Shadow Stick in Perfect Pearl, I'm going to use that to tightline my entire bottom waterline to give our eyes a little bit more sparkle. And then just popping on my false lashes. Today I'm wearing the style Love and Light from House of Lashes. And then just to complete the look onto cheeks, taking the Super Shock highlighter in the shade Flute Punch, I'm going to take my sponge and dab that on the tops of my cheekbones and also on my nose as well. It's a really beautiful light champagne color. I think it suits my skin tone really well. And this, you guys, is the first look completed. For the first look, I wanted to create something that was just very me, the colors that I would pick out of this palette for my personal style. And I feel like this look definitely is just my type of look. I love the muted tones. It's giving me soft romantic vibes, which is definitely the definition of my style. So I absolutely love how this look turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. And now onto the second look. I'm going to start off with the shade Clink Clink, and this is going to be the base color for our eye look. So I like to sweep this all over my lid space first just to get the most pigment going there, and then I'll slowly just start blending that out into my crease, up towards my brow bone, also towards the outer corners. Again, it is just the base color, so we just want this all blended out all over our eyes. So that's also going onto our lower lash line as well, just sweeping that from the outer corner right to the inner corner. And next I'm going to take the shade Get a Grape, and I'm going to use this to create my wing. For this look I wanted to do something a little bit more softer for my wing, so just using eyeshadow to create that. I didn't do such a dramatic wing either, but I'm going to be using this darker brown to achieve that smoky wing. And then going into the shade Urbane, I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm going to apply this right to the center of my eyes. So I did tap some off on the back of my hand because the metallics are just really intense, and I really just want those little micro glitters to shimmer through. I don't want it to be so foiled on my eyes. And then I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well to highlight that inner third and also a little bit in my inner corners as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the Jelly Mud shadow in Blanc de Blanc, and I'm also going to use my ring finger again, and I'm going to take just a little bit of this as well, just working some on the back of my hand and applying that right on top of Urbane, just to again enhance those little micro glitters. And Blanc de Blanc has more gold reflex, so I think there's going to be a little bit more dimension to our eye look. And then taking the e.l.f. Cosmetics Perfect Pearl No Budge Shadow Stick once again into my bottom waterline to tight line, and then popping on my false lashes. I'm wearing Love and Light again from House of Lashes. And then to just complete the look and bedazzle the look, I'll be adding the crystal face jewels from this collection, the silver ones, and I'm just applying some along my brows. I placed one underneath my eyes. As you can probably see from this look, I also put some in my hair. I am just bedazzled out, and I think it just makes this really simple eye look very, very glam. Alright guys, so this is the second look completed. It is super glam with the face jewels, with my accessories as well, just making it even more glam. The actual eye look is very simple, but just adding on these little crystals really level up the look. And I hope you guys don't mind me focusing more on the jewels. It did come in the collection, so it does make sense for me to use them, but I really have a lot of fun doing these types of looks. The simple but very glam. So I hope you guys enjoyed this second look. And finally, onto the last look, I'm taking the shade of Bubble Up, and this is going to be our transition shadow. So on me, this is a really light yellow mustard, and it's a really light shadow even on my skin tone, so it does work really great just as a transition, as the base color. It almost blends into my skin tone a little bit, but I think it works really well as a transitional shadow. So I'm also going to sweep that all over my lower lash line as well. Again, just for some base color for the definition as well. Now I'm going to go into the shade Get a Grape, and we're going to focus this at the outer corners ever so slightly. Again, just for a little bit more definition at the outer corners. I'm kind of sweeping it along like the lash line at the outer corner. This is just sort of my favorite technique to do. It's just like a lot of depth at the outer corner and then more lightness at the inner third. I feel like it really just elongates my eyes. So I'm also going to take that on a defining brush, but press that up against my waterline at the outer third, connecting the shadows at the outer corner point. Now going into the Jelly Mud shadow in the shade Give the Brute, and I'm going to take a little bit of this on a brush and then apply that to the inner third of my eyes. This is the darkest Jelly Mud shadow out of the three, and it's definitely the most gold. Like, it's a really true yellow bronzy gold. I think it's really pretty, but as you can see, I am just like tapping it out so that way I'm getting more of a diffused look and you can see more of those micro glitters. But now I'm going to go into the shade Zesty, and I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corners. This is a really beautiful like satin metallic light yellow. This is such a pretty inner corner highlight. I think this would work really well with like pastel shadows because of that light yellowness to it. But now I'm gonna go ahead and take my brown liquid liner to create the base of my wing. Then I'll go in with a mixture of a black and brown matte eyeshadow to smudge and smoke this wing out. And then of course just popping on my false lashes. Today I'm wearing the style Cloud 9 from Doe Lashes. And then to complete the look, I was inspired by Wien from Mamamoo, but this was from her solo music video. I'm using the pearl gems from this collection, and I'm pretty much just copying her placement that she did, but I'm gonna do it on both eyes. And I really love how the placement turned out. I think it's super pretty, and you guys know how much I love pearls, so I feel like this look is just screaming Judy. So this, you guys, is the final look completed. Although I loved all the other looks in today's video, I can't help but be a little bit more biased to this final look because of the pearls. And I love how the pearls complement the gold tones in the eye look as well. And I just really love how this look turned out. You know, it matches the pearl on my sweater as well. So I'm just all decked out in pearls, and I could not love this look any more than I do. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this final look as well. Alright guys, so those were my 3 looks. Let me know which look out of the 3 was your favorite down below. I know I said it before, but I am biased to this look because of the pearls. But really, I do love all 3 looks. I love how all of them turned out. I feel like they were quite glam, and I know I did focus a lot on the stickers, but they were included in the collection, so I had to play around with those. But I really do love how all 3 looks turned out, so let me know your favorite down below. And with that being said, if you guys did enjoy today's video, if you found it helpful, if you could, give the video a thumbs up for me. I'd appreciate it so much. But thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I love you so much, and I'll go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!